we've got to elect folks who will get to work for people like you. That's why I'm supporting Reverend Raphael Warnock in the special election for Senate. Reverend Warnock's someone I've known for years. He's a man of great moral integrity, a leader in the truest sense of the word. He's spent his life pushing for justice, fighting to expand healthcare, protecting voting rights, and the dignity of work. You don't find a lot of people in Washington like Reverend Warnock, and that's exactly why we got to get him there. Please join me in supporting Raphael Warnock for Senate.
Joining us now is Reverend Raphael Warnock, Senior Pastor at Ebenezer Baptist Church in Atlanta and the Democratic candidate for U.S. Senate in Georgia. Reverend Warnock, thank you very much for joining us tonight. Really appreciate it. How much did the Obama endorsement mean for your campaign?
Thank you so very much. It's great to be here with you. Of course, I'm deeply honored by the endorsement of President Obama and also Vice President Biden and the late Congressman John Lewis. I was his pastor. But the Obama endorsement is special because when we were trying to pass the Affordable Care Act, I was preaching about it from my pulpit and saying that health care is a human right and something certainly the richest nation in the world ought to provide for all of its citizens. And when Georgia refused to expand Medicaid in the state, I went to the state capitol with a group of activists, staged a sit-in in the governor's office, and was arrested standing up for health care. I'm running for the U.S. Senate because I want to translate my activism and agitation into legislation, my protest into public policy. We've got now over 500,000 people in the Medicaid gap in Georgia. We've got 1.8 million people with pre-existing conditions. If our unelected Senator Kelly Loeffler or Doug Collins end up being the senator, they seem to think it's a good idea to get rid of health care in the middle of the pandemic. I think it's a terrible idea. And so I'm humbly offering myself service in the great state of Georgia.
I want to take a look at what's happened in the polls there. You have surged ahead. The latest Atlanta Journal poll shows you at 34%. And then there's two Republicans following you, Collins at 21, current Senator Loeffler at 20. So between the two of them, they only have 41% of the vote. There's another 15 candidates running. And so there's a lot of available vote out there. But you have really surged ahead in the last few weeks. What has made that difference?
Well, I'm deeply honored by the momentum we're feeling in our movement. And, I'm a first-time candidate, and so I had to spend some time raising the resources, quite honestly, to get our message out. But it seems that once we started communicating, telling people my story and my message, the fact that I'm one of 12 children raised in my family. I grew up in public housing down in Savannah, Georgia. I'm number 11 and the first college graduate in my family. I'm running because it's harder now for kids growing up in struggling families than it was for me all of those years. I am the product of good public policy. I had a sense of hard work and determination, but somebody gave me a Pell Grant. Somebody gave me some low-interest student loans. Good public policy helps people live their best lives, and as people are hearing our message, they'll respond.
What has it meant to you to be preaching from the pulpit that Martin Luther King Jr. Preached from, that his father preached from in that historic church in Atlanta?
I'm deeply honored. I've been at that church now for 15 years. I have to tell you, I'm a post-civil rights generation baby born a year after Dr. King's death, but early in life, he captured my imagination, the way in which he used his voice to move people to stand up for the highest and the best. And every Sunday morning, I get to preach from that pulpit, talking about the issues that I care about, speaking about the gospel and my faith in a way that brings people together rather than divides them. I think so, unfortunately, in America today, for many people here in the South, and the loudest voices that we're hearing, the loudest voices of faith, so often use their faith as a weapon rather than a bridge. I believe that faith ought to bring us together, ought to cause us to be true to the highest in our humanity, and even affirm the American covenant, e pluribus unum, out of many one. That's what the civil rights movement is about, and that's what I try to do in my ministry, and that's what I hope to do in the U.S. Senate at this deeply divided time in our country.
Reverend Raphael Warnock, the leading, you are the front runner. I want to get this right. The front runner in the Georgia special election for Senate. You're running ahead of the field right now. It looks like you're going to be there in what will probably end up being a runoff after Election Day. Thank you very much for joining us tonight. We really appreciate it.
Great to be here with you.
Reverend Warnock gets tonight's last word. The 11th hour with Brian Williams starts now.